Season 5 of The Chosen is a visual feast, bursting with vibrant colors and rich textures. The costumes are a tapestry of bright fabrics, flowers, and the glimmer of silver pieces that transport you straight to biblical times. You can almost taste the olive oil and wine and feel the weight of the unleavened bread snapping in your hands. The attention to detail is impressive, from the flickering candlelight to the intoxicating scent of perfume lavishly poured over Jesus' feet. Sure, some Roman outfits might feel a bit off, and the fog machine in Gethsemane is a curious choice, but these are minor quibbles in an otherwise stunning production. It's a beautifully crafted show that truly shines on the big screen, making it a must-see before it hits Amazon Prime in June. Season 5 of The Chosen is vivid. Bright fabrics and flowers, fountains and palms, glugs of olive oil and wine, the gleam and clatter of silver pieces, and the blood of butchered animals pooling in straw, the snap of unleavened bread, the flicker of candlelight, the scent of perfume bought at great price and poured with abandon over Jesus' feet. Some of the Roman costumes look chintzy. There's a fog machine in the Garden of Gethsemane. But these misses are the exception, not the rule. It's a very pretty show. It looks nice on the big screen, where it's playing through Easter Sunday, April 20th, before coming to Amazon Prime in June. Season 5 of The Chosen is also artful. It's historically sensitive and structurally inventive. Each episode begins with out-of-sequence scenes from the Last Supper, then returns to chronological storytelling from Palm Sunday through Gethsemane. Flashbacks detail the disciples' backstories. James the Cantor and Nathaniel the Architect and Simon the Zealot. Old Testament references abound. We see the clattering dry bones of Ezekiel, Abraham leading his son to slaughter, and David singing a psalm. The women in Jesus' life honor him with a Dayenu, a song traditionally sung during a Passover Seder. No Marcionism here. Admittedly, The Chosen is sometimes a little on the nose. This season of the enormously popular dramatization of the Gospels, crowdfunded by adoring fans, set for 2 more seasons of prestige television after this one, is no exception, though it's hard to give the writers too much grief for that. When dialogue has to explain messianic prophecy and Passover rituals and the triangulated authority of Pilate, Herod, and Caiaphas, and preach the gospel in modern-day parlance, it's no wonder it's at times a bit artificial. Of course, the story at the heart of our faith is good, and not just in the sense of entertaining, though it's certainly that. Season 5 is where we approach the crux, pun intended, of the action. A king enters a city on a donkey, palms aflutter. By the end of the season, he's betrayed with a kiss, sold out for coins, the price of a slave, as Judas puts it. There are the machinations of high political drama, the breastbeating of classical tragedy, and again, stunning irony, the Messiah himself washing feet as his disciples protest, tears gleaming in their eyes. Those disciples swearing loyalty and yet dozing off to sleep. It's a good story because it's got momentum and intrigue and complex characters, but most of all, because it's good. It's good news for us that Jesus is washing feet and doing the Father's will, even as he digs his fingernails into rocks and doubles over in sorrow, sweat beading his brow. And to The Chosen's credit, it doesn't pretend otherwise. By season 5, the miraculous healings are mostly done. This is a time for hard teachings. Why these particular people? Eating pomegranates and saying prayers. In this time and this place. What about the families of the money changers in the temple? Didn't they need to eat? Why the almost nonsensical randomness that leads to Jesus' arrest and crucifixion? So many reluctant men passing the buck to each other. The Chosen hasn't suppressed these kinds of complications, and that's part of its success as an artwork. This show is trying so hard not to be propaganda. That said, it does have a theology to impart, and it started to get at some answers through prophecy and snippets of theodicy and assurances of love from Jesus. But it's too early to pass judgment on how the show will tackle the problems of pain and betrayal, of which so much theology has been written in the episodes that remain. There's seemingly no stopping The Chosen. It feels like only yesterday the series was a crowdfunded, faith-based Jesus show from the director of The Resurrection of Gavin Stone, and backed by the small independent Angel Studios. Now, the star who plays Jesus, Jonathan Roumie, is doing guest spots on Jimmy Fallon's The Tonight Show, Good Morning America, and The View. The Chosen is a rare faith-based project beloved by Christians and non-Christians, Catholics and Protestants, political conservatives, and liberals. It's been praised by figures like Paul Schrader, Bishop Robert Barron, and Greg Laurie. The Chosen, The Last Supper, Part 1, Season 5, Episodes 1 to 2, will be in theaters nationwide on March 28th. Part 2, Episodes 3 to 5, will be released April 4th, and Part 3, Episodes 6 to 8, will follow on April 11th.